Hello, hello, everybody. It is, you already know what time it is. It is time for the Purpose Conversation. I am Juvathreet Alexander, the host of this oh so amazing live podcast. And today I have a very special person, special guest here in the house. And I have been calling this the remix. I'm going to introduce him right now. His name is Mr. David, aka Pressure, aka your auntie's favorite singer,
Yeah,
aka there are so many other
it's
pseudonyms,
a lot
but
of them.
I
It's
love
a lot
it.
of
The
them.
one monkey that stopped the show.
That's right. The one monkey that actually stopped the show. You know, uh,
Welcome,
Mr.
welcome.
David, aka Pressure, aka Bubba Skinner, aka your auntie's favorite singer, aka Danny Zuko, aka Johnny Fontaine, aka Tom Cody, aka JD Walker, aka the Crooked Tooth Lady Killer, and aka the one monkey that actually stopped the show. That's right.
I love it. You are so crazy. Never fails. Just so that all of my purpose friends know. Now, if they've been rocking with me for a long time, then they know this simple little fact that you, Mr. David, you were actually the very first guest of the Purpose Conversation,
That's right.
even though at the time I didn't have this platform. We did it on Facebook Live, and we had so much fun, and we
Yeah,
set the standard for what the
yeah.
Purpose Conversation is all about.
Yeah, I was the first
Now,
one, and it came off so good because it was organic. I mean, we just chopped it up like we've been doing for so many years, you know?
that's right. That's right. And I wanted to bring you back because I figured, I mean, there's some people I feel that just need to have a remix. And because I know you and I know just the history of kind of who you are and where you've come from, I know that your purpose, it will speak so loudly to so many. And I wanted to just kind of bring you back on. So thank you again for your second yes, the second time around. But I wanted to take the time to speak purpose with you and to dig a little deeper because we have so many young people that are trying to discover why they're here, and just so many young people in general that want to do the things that you're doing and need to have a little bit of guidance. And not only that, a lot of young people right now are in this particular season where they are open to learning,
Right.
and sometimes it's all about our legacy, what it is that we're doing and what it is that we're pouring out intentionally to others. So tonight I wanted to kind of take this in a different direction for the remix. I want us to, of course, I want us to talk about purpose, but I want us to talk about passion, and I want us to talk about power, because I think those three elements in this particular season that we are in, just as a nation, as a people, I think it would speak volumes. And I can't think of a better person than I would like to sit down and have that conversation with than you.
Right.
So
Right. Thank you.
yeah, shall we dig in?
Let's dig in. Let's do it.
Okay, so Mr. David, aka Pressure. Oh, I definitely want to talk all about music, and we're going to cover music.
Right.
But tell me, in your own words, what does purpose mean to you? What does purpose look like to you?
That's a great question. What does purpose look like to me? Um, well, for me, purpose is the definition of why you exist. And I would say
Mhm,
that for anybody. For some people, they know it immediately, like from birth. And for others, it
mhm,
takes years for them to find and understand their purpose. But to answer the question, I think everybody has a purpose.
mhm,
Uh, God doesn't waste lives, in my opinion. If He gives you the gift of life, it's definitely for a reason. I think our paths in life are predestined.
Mm-hmm.
And I firmly believe that it's up to us to navigate that path to get to our purpose. And once we understand our path, then in a lot of ways, we understand our purpose. And at that point, at that juncture, our path and our purpose start to move as one.
Mm.
And because you get it at that point. See, a lot of times we're on our path, but we don't get our purpose. And that's why we veer off to the left
Mm.
and veer off to the right. And uh, God usually throws us obstacles in order to get us back on the right path. And somewhere along the way, we get an understanding of that purpose. And once we're moving on our path with our purpose, things look real good at that point. Real good.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I totally get that, and I totally agree. I totally agree with that. Um, Speaking of, our paths, and how once we get on that path, then we're ultimately right there, right smack in the middle of the purpose of our purpose. What did that path look like for you? I guess tell people exactly what it is that you do, David. What is it that you do, Mr. David? And what has that path looked like for you just through the course of the journey?
Well, I think that the purpose that God bestowed upon me, and I gathered this purpose while I was on my path, was to
Mm,
impart knowledge upon people that need it, impart knowledge upon people that don't know that they need it, people that don't
mm,
think that they need it. Um, Stepped in a lot of potholes along my path. But,
right.
but what people don't understand is that there's a purpose in those potholes. You know,
Ooh.
you don't step in potholes for nothing. See,
Mm-hmm.
and here's my analogy: when you step in the pothole, you're past it at that point because you've already stepped in it, but it's still there for the person that's behind you. So I
Mm.
feel like the purpose of me stepping in that pothole and surviving it was so that I can reach back to the guy behind me and say, "Hey, there's a pothole right there. You need to move to the right or you need to move to the left. Either way, you need to move around that pothole. I stepped in it so you don't have to."
Oh, that's so good.
So that embodies my purpose. And Tony Mercedes played a huge part in getting me to the point where I understand my purpose. He taught me about those potholes, and he stepped in a lot of those potholes so that I could miss the ones he stepped in.
Oh,
And he
that's so
taught me
good.
that he taught me that when pay it forward when you encounter potholes in life, just remember that there's somebody that's coming behind you in the same direction in the gull of your path. And if you can let them know where those potholes are, they'll have a easier path because you've now given them information that they didn't otherwise have, which will allow them it will allow them to not endure what you've endured. That's the reason you endured what you endured, so that others wouldn't have to. And
Oh, that's good.
that kind of embodies my purpose, my path, to answer the question.
I love that. And you speak of Tony Mercedes. Shout out Tony Mercedes.
Yes,
Shout out to
indeed.
him.
Yes, indeed.
Um,
Every time.
but one of the things that I've always believed in, even to this day, and it seems like Tony Mercedes was doing this to you, and in return, you are doing the same thing, and that's being a mentor. Has um other than Tony Mercedes, who else has mentored you to help you to develop um, this attitude or this lifestyle of paying it forward, of ultimately helping people to connect to what it is that they're supposed to be doing. So just as it's important for someone to mentor you, you're mentoring others. Who else was a mentor to you, or who is your mentor right now? Because I think we probably always have somebody that
Right, right.
that's pouring into us. I would hope that we're, always have someone that's pouring into us.
Well, I'm lucky to still have both my mother and father living and breathing on this earth. And
Praise.
my father made me, Amos Jones Sr. made me everything that I am. Every lesson that I learned, every jewel that he gave me, um, I got from him because his life basically was to so that his children can have better than he did, can do
Mhm.
better than he did, can live better than he did. I was grateful that he mentored me earlier on in life and taught me how to be self-sufficient, and taught me that it's funny you mentioned that because I made a post earlier this week that said something to the effect of um, I'm glad I understand my purpose and that it's not necessary for me to adhere to what others consider happiness in order for me to be happy. And that's because of my purpose. And
Oh, that's good.
just to, yeah, to get back to your question, my father, definitely. Many men in the military, a lot of people don't know. I am a combat veteran. I spent 11 and a half years in the military. I fought
That's
in
right.
Operation Desert Storm, Desert Shield in 1991. And many men along the way taught me a lot of things. I've had many mentors, but here's the thing, Jay. You have to be you can have mentors in your life, but if you're not susceptible to being mentored, then you won't learn anything. You have to be
That's right.
susceptible to opening your mind, and if nothing else, getting the information that someone else has because of what someone else has been through. If you do that, you find yourself dodging certain things because you have
Mhm.
information is key in life. Knowledge is key. It's power. And you can get it from a lot of different places, and mentorship is definitely a great place to get that. So to answer your question, yeah, my father, drill sergeants, guys I've met along the way on the road, and just I've had a bevy of mentors. I can't rattle everybody off at this
Yeah.
particular time, but I thank everybody who's ever poured into me and who's ever believed in me and whoever saw something in me that somebody else didn't see and gave me the information. I heard Snoop Dogg say one time. Uh, he said something to the effect of uh, this one's free but the next one will cost you, and
Yeah.
it doesn't cost a thing to give somebody the game. You'll never know at the end of the day what you'll get back in return. So again, that's what I try to do. I try to pour into as many guys as I can because I had so many great guys before me that poured into me.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
Well, wow. And you know what? I absolutely love the fact that your dad, and so you're blessed to have so many amazing men and people that have been here to be able to pour into you. Um,
yeah.
as a matter of fact, I see one of my purpose friends here on the call right now. Arthur J. Wellsby. What's up, Arthur J. Wellsby? He commented here that sharing is caring, and he also put great explanation.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, we
What's up, Arthur?
appreciate you, Jay, for saying that.
What's up, Arthur? Appreciate that love.
Absolutely. Let me ask you something first, and also thank you for your service. Absolutely. Thank you for your service. And I don't say that lightly. I am a
Right,
vet
right.
myself, so
And yeah,
I get you. I
thank
say
you for
thank
your
you for your
service.
service.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you.
for your
People don't
service.
know. People
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. You wore the uniform.
Let
Yeah,
me
I remember.
ask
Yeah.
let me ask you something. So, was there ever, when we think about music, how you got started in all of that. As a matter of fact, let's share a little bit of history,
Okay.
because I know we talked about this in the very first show, but let's give us a backlog of how did you start doing what you do, and has there ever been a moment in your life? Where was that moment in your life when you realized, man, this is what I was born to do?
You know, a lot of people couldn't answer that question, but I remember the exact time, the exact moment when I realized at that point, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Um, First part of the question, I was born in a lot of people don't know this. I was born in East Elmhurst, Queens, New York, and my
Mhm.
family my family moved to South Carolina in the late 70s, because at the time there was four of us. It's six. I have five other siblings, but at the time there was only four of us. Me, uh, my brother Amos, and my two sisters, Roseanne and Joyce. And raising kids in New York in the mid and the late 70s wasn't the move, because gangs had gotten really
Mhm.
bad, and it was crime was bad, and gangs had gotten really bad. It was horrible. And see, a lot of black couples in the late 50s and early 60s from the South Carolina area, well, just from the South period, what they did was when they got old enough, they moved up north, because things were better at the time up north for black people, whereas down south, civil
Mhm.
rights was just being ushered in, and things were still kind of bad in the area. So a lot of people, when they got old enough to do what they needed to do, they moved up north. And my parents were two of those people. They moved up north, and they had all of us up north. But right around the late 70s, um, it got real bad in New York. So they decided to come back home. So they packed us up, and mind you,
Okay.
we were doing well off. Both my parents had businesses in New York, and we were doing very well. But it had gotten so bad that they decided to pack up and move back home. My father decided to build us a house in South Carolina. So we moved to South Carolina back in the late 70s, and I was raised in Aiken, South Carolina.
That's right.
And music was always a part of everything that we did. We ate it, slept it, breathed it, uh, be it secular, non-secular music. Music was always a part of what we did, and I just gravitated to it a little bit more than my siblings. And uh, I realized early on that I could use music to get a reaction out of people. I didn't quite have an understanding of what that reaction was or what it was for, because I was still young, but I knew that when I sang, it made people act a certain way. And I learned
Yeah.
it early on. So skip ahead to
Wow.
young David Jones. Myself and my brother actually we were a rap group. And this was around
Really?
uh, Yeah, yeah. Uh, this was around 83, 84-ish, early 83 and 84. And we were a rap group and we were pretty good. And this is when the hip hop wave came in and just took the world by storm. This is circa 1983, 84, 85. Okay, so me and my brother
Okay.
Mike, we were a rap group and we were pretty good. And there was this guy, you know about the if you're from Aiken, if you're from Augusta, then you know about the Red Ring Rollaway skating rink that used to jump off on
Yes,
Sunday
absolutely.
night in Aiken. Yeah. This guy used to come to the skating rink
Yes.
all the time and he was a manager. He had a lot of groups. And we thought his groups were trash. Like they would perform all the time and we
Really?
would look at them like these guys are garbage. Like he had rappers and dancers and we were like, bruh, these guys are trash. Like we can run circles around these guys. So one make a long story short, one Friday night there was another skating ring in Augusta off of Windsor Spring Road that used to jump off on
Yep.
Friday. So we they were booked to perform there, him and all of his groups. And me and my brother was like, this is it. We getting ready to step to these guys and we getting ready to smash these guys. So we went to the skating ring that night and we challenged them, all of them on the mic, that is, you know, because back then that's what it was about. You battle either dancing or you battle rapping, you know. So we wanted to battle these guys. They were afraid. They didn't want to battle us. So he was like, "Nah, y'all get them." So we was like, "Okay, y'all come get us." And needless to say, we destroyed them on the microphone. Me and my brother destroyed them. And the manager,
Oh gosh.
his name was Tony Mercedes. He had a rapper named Sir Fresh. He had a rapper named Sir Fresh. He had a girls dance group. Um, he had another little rapper. Uh, I forget his. Oh, he had another little rapper. His name was Smooth. I think you know who
Yes.
I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, we destroyed all of these guys, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, after we destroyed these guys, he came up to me and my brother, and we struck up a conversation. And long story short, me and that guy have been the best of friends ever since. That was in 1980, either 85 or 86. And
Wow.
we've been around the world and back together ever since. Long time, long time.
Right. 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 Long time.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of memories. And I was in the mix of some of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Just kind
were.
of
Yeah, yeah,
knowing the history.
yeah. You sure were.
Wow.
You were in a couple of our music videos and yeah, it was a time back then.
Wow. Let me ask you, as it relates to purpose and can you think of a time how purpose has guided your decisions, especially in the music industry?
Well, we try as humans and as decent people, we try to allow purpose to guide our decisions all the time. And I like to say that that's the reason after so many years that I'm still here and a lot of the ones that came up with us are not. Um,
Right. Right.
because I allowed purpose to keep me from making decisions that others made, and they ultimately paid for those decisions. Um, my father taught me that if you do the right thing when nobody's looking, then when someone's paying attention, you're automatically going to be doing the right thing. And
Oh, that's
that
good, and that's true.
and that's the foundation of that is purpose. If you think about it in the
Mm-hmm.
in the grand
Mm.
in the grand scheme of
Yes.
things, the foundation of that is purpose. See, I was exposed to a whole lot of stuff being an entertainer for so long as I have been,
Oh, yeah.
and prior to being an entertainer, being in the military, I was exposed to a lot of stuff. But when you come from a solid foundation, you have that little voice in the back of your head that says, that's not what you're here for. No, that's not your purpose. No, your purpose is this over here. So if you do that over there, you'll be defeating the purpose, and you don't want to do that. And that little voice has gotten me through. And that little voice telling me that you have a purpose, and you need to go find it, is what has gotten me through to the point where if God allows me to see October 14th, I'll be 55 years old, and I'm still out here doing what I'm purposed to do.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right. Let me ask you, because when I think of purpose, I of course I think of passion.
right.
Give me 1 second. One
No, no, no.
second. I
Go
think
ahead.
I have a 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah, I lost you. I can't hear you, Jay. If you can hear me, for those that are watching, um, Tony Mercedes has a new artist named Red. Um, y'all check her out. She has a new single with Sir Charles Jones. It's called "Get My Lick Back." Y'all go to YouTube and check out the single, and you'll love it. If you love Southern soul music, you'll love it. And I also have a record out right now. It's called "Knock the Fire Out That Thing." Y'all go to YouTube, check out my record, and keep showing us love, keep showing us support. Check us out wherever we're at doing live shows this summer, and y'all check us out.
Thank you.
I can't hear you, Jay.
All right.
I got you now.
Hey, thank you so much. Okay. Well, I also want to know, like
Uh-huh.
I said, I think when I think of purpose, of course, passion itself comes into play.
Right.
And where does your passion for Southern Soul come from? Because, of course, you started with rap and you've done all genres, because you've even done some country.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
where does
indeed.
the passion for Southern Soul come from?
Well, that the passion comes from the soul itself, because there are certain genres of music that you can do, and you're just doing something. But when you do soul, blues, in particular Southern soul, because there's a such thing as Northern soul as well. A lot of people don't
Oh,
know this. There was a whole
I didn't
genre
know.
in the late '60s and early '70s called Northern soul. Get on your Googles and Google Northern soul, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But uh, Southern soul is a feeling. See, it. I'm so glad you asked me that question, because as you can see, uh, Southern Soul has burst onto the national scene now, and it's become a thing that everybody's doing. Like everybody, shout out to
Right.
Tucker, shout out to King George, shout out to 803 Fresh, all of these young guys that are taking Southern
Mm-hmm.
Soul to the next level and making it a household thing. But then again, when I say that, I also have to shout out guys like Sir Charles Jones, TK Soul, and Mr. David, and Jay Wan, and some of those other guys, because before, and this is no shade, but before Boots on the Ground, we were doing Southern Soul. Uh, we were holding that
That's
lane
right.
down when people weren't paying attention. We were holding that
That's
spot
right.
when people were doing something else, when people were riding another wave, we were in this Southern Soul lane holding that thing down. So it's great that it has gotten as big as it has gotten. It's great that it's gone national, but for a lot of people that are riding on that wave now, that are on the Southern Soul bandwagon, I implore you, do your homework, because there's so much more great music and great artists that have been doing this thing for so long. And
Mm-hmm.
I would be remiss in shouting out the guys and not shouting out the ladies that are holding Southern Soul down too. Shouting out Miss Jody and Karen Wolf and Nellie Tiger
That's
Travis,
right. That's right.
and I mean, the ladies have been holding this thing down too. The late Jackie Neal, and it's a huge genre, but it's not a new genre. It's been here, and
Mm,
I really want
exactly.
people to do their homework. And not now that 803 Fresh and King George have made you guys pay attention, now go back, get on Google, get on YouTube, and learn about Mr. David, learn about Nelson Curry, learn about Lamaris Williams, learn about Big Yayo, all of these people, and you'll get some great music and you'll get some a great understanding of what Southern Soul is and the purpose behind Southern Soul. See, it all started back in the slavery days. Soul music, and it was called soul music back then because when you heard it, it automatically went in your ears, past your
That's your
brain,
soul.
and down to your soul when you heard it. Slaves used it to get through the day when they were being abused, when it was hot and they had to pick cotton and they had to work in the fields. It was their way of not only coping with the conditions and the situations that were happening, but it was their way to communicate with each other while they were doing it to make sure each other was all right in the midst of the storm. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yes.
it
Yes.
has transcended years, and now we have it, and now we're bringing it to the world, and I'm so grateful these young guys paid attention and they're running with that ball, and I couldn't be more proud of them. I couldn't be more proud.
I love. You know what? You are absolutely right, and I am glad that you have challenged us to go back and take a look because oh my gosh, they are going to be pleasantly surprised.
Jay,
This ain't new.
I recorded my very first quote unquote Southern Soul record in 2004. See, a lot of people don't know where the term Southern Soul came from. So I'm getting ready to school y'all right now. The term
There we
Southern
go.
Soul, the term Southern Soul came from one person and one person only. And if anybody tells you anything different, they're lying. And I know because I was there when it happened. I
Okay.
was I wasn't in
Okay.
the room, but I was in the atmosphere. I was exposed to the atmosphere when it happened. So, uh, like you said, I came from a different genre of music. Um, but I always sang. But I was rapping. As a matter
Right.
of fact, I was in a rap group called the Southside Boys, and we had a top 10 record in 1997 called Get Ready, Here It Comes. Y'all Google it, Southside
That's
Boys.
right.
You can see the video. I had the bald head and the white suit. I had an affinity for white suits in my videos. But y'all, y'all go back and Google Southside Boys and you'll see the music video. But anyway, we had a top 10 record. We had just come off performing on Soul Train. Kids, uh Soul Train was Pandora back in the day. If you don't know
That's
what
right.
Soul Train was, ask your mama. She'll tell you what Soul Train was.
That's right.
Anyway, we had just come off performing on Soul Train, and my road manager back then, her name was Miss Barbara Thomas. She managed my group. She also managed a R&B group named Troop. They had a big record called Spread My Wings, another big record called All I Do Is Think of You, a remake of the
Yeah.
Jack. She managed them, and she also managed this blues artist named Jesse James. Jesse James had a
Okay.
hit blues record called I Can Do Bad by Myself. Google it, y'all.
Mm,
Jesse James, I Can Do Bad by Myself. And it was a huge record, but it was a huge blues record. See, they had this thing back then called the Chitlin Circuit, and it was a place where all
yes.
blues artists hit all of the states in the Southeast in specific areas and specific clubs called hole in the walls that weren't big clubs, but people packed into them, juke joints, if you will. And she was managing all of these groups, and unfortunately, she got sick. I'm not sure whether it was cancer. I don't remember whether it was cancer or what, but she got sick at the time. This is 99, 2000, 2001. I'm coming off Splackavelli. Splackavelli was a huge hit, right? We'll get back to that later. But
Yes, it
Splackavelli was a
was.
huge hit. I'm coming off Splackavelli, and I'm coming off Du Bois, and I'm trying to come up with my next record. Okay. I'm signed to Tony Mercedes Records at the time, distributed by LaFace Records. And LaFace Records was going through some turmoil and they ended up selling the company. So I ended up without a distributor at the time. I went in the studio, I did some demos, some rap demos, but I also did some singing demos. And uh Barbara would listen to my stuff and she would say all the time, uh, I don't know why you rapping because you're gonna do the blues. See, I had an issue back in the day, and L.A. Reid told me to my face. He
Wow.
said it's hard for me to sell you, and I said, why, Mr. Reid? I don't understand. He said because when you sing, you sound too old for the young people, and you sound too young for the older folks at the same time. So we don't know what to do with you.
Oh, wow.
At that same time,
Wow.
there was this
Wow.
young guy. He was a backup singer for this blues artist, this big blues artist named Marvin Cease, and he's also from South Carolina. Rest in peace. He's from Blackville, South Carolina. He had huge records like Ghetto Man and Mr. Jody, and everybody knows Candy Liquor. Well, that was his biggest record, and but he was considered a blues artist because the Chitlin circuit, he stayed on the Chitlin circuit. He stayed performing in juke joints. Da 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 da. He never made it to the national level. He was national amongst black folks, but he wasn't national. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mhm. Mhm.
anyway,
Mhm.
long story short, uh, this young guy used to sing backup for Marvin Cease, and Marvin got sick, and he couldn't perform anymore. So Marvin gave this young guy his blessing to go out, do some solo stuff, and hopefully pick up this banner and run with it. This young guy recorded a record that was a huge success, but nobody knew how to categorize this record. Now I want y'all to Google this too. The record, the record was called, and this was around 99, 2000, maybe 2001. The record was called "Is There Anybody Lonely?"
Okay.
They didn't know whether to call it an R&B record, a blues record. They didn't know what to call it. I just know radio got a hold to it, and it took off like a rocket. And this young man was
Wow.
in an interview one day on a radio station. I want to say it was in Macon, Georgia, WIBB. Uh, I don't remember exactly the station, but he was doing an interview, and the jock that was interviewing him was like, "You too young to be a blues artist, but your sound is too too mature for the younger audience, but it's not old enough for the older folks. We don't know. We love this record, but we don't know how to categorize what you do." And this young man got on the mic and said, "I'm a young man from the South. I love doing soul music. What I do is Southern soul." This young
Oh,
man's name
yes.
was Sir Charles Jones, and first,
Ah,
he was the first to ever coin the phrase Southern soul. When he said it, it was born and it
wow.
took off from there. And anybody can try to dispute it, but like I said, I was there. I saw it be born. I was there.
That's right.
Sir Charles Jones coined the phrase Southern soul, and he started the genre. He started the genre, and we picked it up and we ran with it. As a matter of fact, one of my first
Wow.
Southern
And
soul hit records, one of my first Southern soul hit records was a duet with Sir Charles Jones called Shooter Wop. Big record for me. I still go out and perform
yes.
this record today. Yeah, to this day.
Wow. I absolutely
Yeah,
love that. And I
yeah.
love
Kids,
talking to you, and I
do
love
your
because
homework.
you always give us the yes, yes.
I'm giving
I
y'all
love that.
the real, and you can check my resume. You can check what I say. It's receipts to
I
what
know
I'm
that's
talking about.
right.
All you got to do is do your homework. There are receipts for what I'm talking about. This brother does not get credit for starting this genre, and he should.
But he
Um,
I
blues has
tell you,
always
I
been
love
around. Blues has always been around since the beginning of music, but nobody did Southern soul until Sir Charles did it. There were
okay.
many,
I'm gonna
there were
ask you
many,
some
there were many blues artists before him, but he was the first Southern soul artist.
he was the first. Absolutely. And I love the fact that everybody did pick it up and run with it.
That's right.
And yeah, I love it. Thank you for giving us some history behind it. Because knowledge is power, and I
Right.
love that. I absolutely love that. Okay, I'm gonna give you some rapid fire questions real quick.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
What's something about Mr. David people don't see but should know?
Something about Mr. David that people don't see and they should know. Um,
Yes, but they should know.
that I'm a veteran. I'm a United States Army combat veteran. You should
That's
know
right.
that. A lot of people don't know that. They should.
Okay. I love it. Check. That works for me. Now, what would younger you think about the man you are today?
Um, Younger me probably wouldn't. like older me because older me would probably be jacking younger me up by the collar and keeping him, keeping younger me from making a whole lot of mistakes that younger me made.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Um, oh, what's the lesson purpose taught you the hard way?
Oh wow. A lesson purpose taught me the hard way.
Hmm.
Never allow someone else to spend money that you're responsible for.
Ooh,
Let me say it
say that
again.
again.
Never, ever allow someone else to spend money or allocate money that you are ultimately responsible for.
Wow.
That's a,
That's
that's
a
a whole
lesson,
nother,
y'all.
yeah, that's a whole nother conversation in itself when we get into like recoupment and yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
Yeah,
But that's good.
yeah.
That's good. Um, if your voice stopped working tomorrow, and it won't, how would you still walk in purpose in this particular lane?
If my voice stopped working tomorrow, how would I still walk in purpose? Because
Yes.
I would still walk in purpose by continuing to impart knowledge on those who need it and those who don't realize that they need it. My voice may stop, but my experiences will never go anywhere. So
That's right.
that knowledge will remain in my head and it will remain to be needed as long as young people walk this earth and older people as well. As I still have my life up to this point. I still have those experiences. I still have the memories of the potholes that I stepped in, whether my voice is
Mm,
working or not. So if I can use those to keep people from stepping in the same potholes and from to navigate people around those potholes, then that's how my purpose continues.
I love that, David. Let me ask you this though. Um, what legacy do you hope um, your music and your life will leave behind?
That's a good one. That's a loaded question. Um, I would like to leave behind a legacy where people can say, good, bad, or indifferent, I got something from that guy, and it helped me.
Mm,
No matter how little it helped or how much it helped, I got something from him, and it helped me. If it's nothing but hearing my song, one of my songs, and it getting you to the other side of a bad situation, if nothing else but watching one of my music videos and you're in pain and those 3 minutes and 15 seconds you see that video, you forget about your pain. I I I helped you for if only for those 3 minutes. So I would want my legacy to be that people got something from me, that I left an indelible mark, that whenever you go back and look, you can say, I remember where I was, what I was doing, who I was with, who I was doing, where it was at
right.
when I heard this brother sing or when I saw this brother perform.
Oh, yes.
You know,
Right. Right.
I've been doing
Yep.
Jay. I've been doing a lot of here lately. I've been doing a lot of these '90s revival shows, and
Okay.
it's amazing that Okay, Splackavelli came out in 1998. It's
Mm-hmm.
2005. It's 2025. If I'm not mistaken, that's what, 27, 28 years,
Yeah.
if my math is
Yeah.
correct. True
Ye-
story. Last
Yeah.
week, I did a concert in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. They have a club down there called Club Nostalgia. And
Mm-hmm.
on Friday nights, they bring in artists that have hits from back in the 90s and they do these throwback concerts. And they had me down there. Okay, so I went down there, checked in the hotel. Shout out to Ricky Carlisle too. Nice hotel. Set it off. That again, that's a whole nother conversation about how promoters are supposed to treat artists, but we'll get into that. So anyway, I went down there, checked in the hotel. I'm chilling, waiting for showtime. I'm thinking, okay, maybe a couple hundred people show up. Da 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 da. Get to the club, and it's absolutely packed, running over with a line outside. And I'm like, wow. But that's not the shocking part, because I always pull a decent crowd. That's not the shocking part. The shocking part is I get in the concert and I look out in the audience, and it's about half the audience was people my age and older, but the other half of the audience was a different demographic. It was 20 and 25-year old, like
Wow.
younger folks. And so I get on stage, I get to perform and I'm doing a couple of my album cuts and stuff. And the older people are feeling it because they familiar with the music. The younger people, not so much. They're
Yeah.
just staring, looking at the show. But if you know the song Splackavelli, it starts out with a little drum beat, dun 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 dun, right? So I usually close my show with
Mm-hmm.
Splackavelli, and
Right.
as soon as that drum beat came on, dum 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 dum, they lost it. Like, and I'm talking about the younger folks. They
Wow.
lost it, and it shocked the devil. I'm like, this thing has transcended ages. Like, it's the gift
Yep.
that keeps on giving. It shocked me because I never expected in a million years. My oldest son, God let him see October, will be 37 years old, right?
Wow.
My youngest
Yes.
my youngest kid, my daughter, this past March just turned 21. She's in the United States Air Force. She's over in Saudi Arabia right now serving her country. Hey Coco. Um anyway,
Hey,
my youngest
Coco.
yeah, my oldest is 36 and my youngest is 21. I never thought in a million years that I would see kids, my kids' age, walking around talking, singing, not just Splackavelli, but walking around singing, uh, "Hey, Mister Sexy Man," uh,
That's right.
"Can't Stay Too Long," "Boots on the Ground." Like y'all 25, what y'all know about this music? It's shocking, but I love it. I love it because at the end of the day, good music stands up. We get crap all the time, but cream always rises to the top. And it just
Yep.
I know I've veered off topic a little bit, but it's just
You're fine.
amazing that I go out and do these shows now and I look out in these audiences and it's kids 20, 22, 23 years old, and they coming to see the blues. They coming to see this Southern soul, and it's amazing, man. And I like to think that I had a little something to do with that.
You absolutely did. That's right. And music in itself speaks to people. And I know it speaks to me. I wish that I could sing. Child, if I could sing, woo, wouldn't nobody be able to tell me nothing.
You can you
But
can you can do it, Jay. You might have to do it while you're all alone by yourself, but you can do it.
I know, and I do, and I do. But music definitely speaks to you, and so I'm surprised that you find it so surprising that people that even the young people are connecting to you like that, because
Man,
it that's, I mean, hey, hey, it's a gift. It is
man,
definitely a gift.
they are
And
going back, and
people on that gift,
they are
you
going
know?
back, and they're finding this music. Like my daughter put me on to TikTok like last year. I'm ashamed to say I'm only a year in on TikTok, but
Okay.
the way she put me on is crazy. Like she called me one day and she was like, "Dad, you need to get on the TikTok app because Splackavelli going crazy." Like I'm like, "What you talking about?" So
Like
I
what?
I downloaded the app and I got on and I just put Splackavelli in the search engine and I sat there probably for about 5 or 6 hours and just watch people
Watching the
from
videos,
around
people the
the
music.
globe not only watching the video, but they're making their own Splackavelli videos. It's like, y'all,
Yes.
it's almost 30 years later, and they're still like this thing has a life of its own. Like it won't
That's
die.
right.
It won't die.
And it probably will not. I think that's the beauty, that's the beauty of creating a legacy. And speaking of Splackavelli, I saw that you mentioned that V103, they're in Atlanta.
Yeah.
They rated Splackavelli just like last week or this week, right?
Yeah, I
As
want to
one
say
of the
it was either
what
it was this past Friday, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
Yeah. So they rated it as like one of the greatest hits or something to that effect. And but I'm just surprised that you, sir, are surprised that you made good music, and it speaks to us then, it spoke to us then, it speaks to us now, and I am so glad that people are going back, and that you've encouraged people, go back, do a little bit of history, go back, and you've taken us back even tonight. David, I can't thank you enough. You speak to the music soul in me, and I'm grateful for your gift. And
Thank you so much, Jay. Thank
more
you.
so, not even so much as your gift, but I know that your gift is for, it's for me, and it's for countless of others out here, and
I'm gonna get in
it's
trouble.
just
Let
really
me hold
awesome.
on. I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't get this in. My wife absolutely loves you, and
And you know I
she
love Ann. That's
she
my sis.
she is waiting on pins and needles for your next book.
Ah, it's coming, Ann.
She is waiting. She's waiting.
Oh,
She
you know I love Ann.
she
And
absolutely
that's my
adores
sis.
you. Yeah, she absolutely adores you.
Yeah, she's a real one, just like
Yeah,
you, just
yes,
like you.
yeah,
And I appreciate the sisterhood that I have with her. I appreciate our friendship. We go way, way, way
yeah,
back,
yeah,
the way
yeah.
back.
All the way
And
back. Yeah.
I appreciate you coming on here to spend some time with me this evening, and just to talk purpose, just to talk about everything, power and legacy, and just everything.
Right.
Um, any shout outs, or what can you tell us? What I know that you were speaking to my purpose friends earlier, and you were letting them know some things, maybe how to connect with you or what you have going on. But any final words to all of my purpose friends, or anybody, any final things you want to say, even if you want to tell us what you have going on, how we can stay connected to you.
Well, you can always stay connected to me on all social media platforms. If you want to do something for me, like I said, go dig up this music. It's so much music out there, and not just for myself, but for all of the Southern Soul artists that are doing it now, and all of the Southern Soul artists that paved the way for the artists that are doing it now. I also want to give a special shout out to my man. Just like I said, I gave y'all the story of Sir Charles being the first Southern Soul artist. I want to send a special shout out to my man Joe Nice. He's the very
Yes,
first
yes,
ever
Joe Knight.
Southern Soul hip hop artist. Do not be fooled by these imitators that are telling y'all they are the first. Joe Nice was the very first one ever to put a rap on a Southern Soul record. I'm not going to let y'all take this man's title from him. Joe Nice is the very first Southern Soul hip hop artist ever. You can catch Mr. David out on the road. As a matter of fact, Montgomery, Alabama, I'm coming to see y'all 4th of July weekend. The big festival that's going on downtown. You can catch me. You can catch King George, the guy that just won American Idol, Jamal Roberts, he's gonna be there. A bunch of us. If you ain't got your tickets, get your tickets now. It goes on in Montgomery, Alabama, July the 5th, if I'm not mistaken. That weekend, y'all ain't got nothing else to do. Come down and see your boy. Like I said, go out, go to your Googles, go to your YouTubes, pull up the music, everything Mr. David, everything Pressure. That's Pressha. Yes, I've been Pressure all ever since 1998, ever since
That's right.
1992, and I know the phrase, the word pressure is popular now, but I was Pressure before Pressure became Pressure. So y'all go back and do your
That's
homework.
right.
And I love y'all, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it.
Wow. Well, Mr. David Pressure D,
That's right.
thank you. I appreciate you. I adore you, and we'll connect again. We are friends,
You
and
already know.
I need to see what the heck we need to do to get you in Charlotte. That would be really good.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we need a little Mister. Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely, and I also want to get with you too. Shout out to
yeah,
the
we need to
guys
get you
in my
Charlotte. We
car.
need to do.
Shout out to the guys in my car club. I have a car club called Go Mode Car Club, and we're based out of South Carolina. I want to put the Go Mode Car Club together with the Purpose Conversation, and I want us to do a benefit, and I want that benefit to. We want to raise money to go towards mental health awareness. And we want to do it with you. We want to do it with the Purpose Conversation. So that's something that Go Mode Car Club and Purpose Conversation need to link up and put it together. But for 2026, we want to get with you, and we want to do uh, event to raise money for mental health awareness.
Now, I absolutely love that. And I tell you what, we can definitely make it happen. And yeah, that's right. You do have the car club, and you know I have my girls with beauties and bikers. They would
That's
probably love
right.
to join in and see. Oh,
That's
this
right.
could be real good. Let's connect. Let's connect.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, to all of my purpose friends tuning in, I want to thank y'all again. David D. Pressure, thank you. And for everybody, um, I want to encourage you. I want you to come back in a couple weeks. We're gonna have another purpose conversation. But in the meantime and in between time, I want to continue to encourage all of you to please continue to seek, to discover, and to pursue your purpose on purpose. You have just watched and listened to the Purpose Conversation. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, Purpose friends. Y'all have a good
Mwah.
night.
We love you, babe.
Thank you. Love you.